I realized that I actually wanted to really pursue it at the age of 26. 26 years old, I realized that if I, took music a little bit more serious, no matter what direction I was trying to go with it, I feel like it would help me unlock some doors and just, move about life a little bit better.
Today we are here with Rob Woods, owner of Rob Woods Presents, an artist born and raised in Sacramento, California, and we are happy to and delighted to be in company. Hi, Rob.
Peace, what's happening?
Nothing much, just hanging out with you. Um, where are we right now?
We're in Los Angeles, California.
We're in LA, but I want to go back in time before everyone called you Rob Woods. Where did it all begin?
Back home, back in Sacramento. Born and raised Sacramento, California, and yeah, started there. The family started there. The love, everything there.
Tell us a little bit about your childhood in Sacramento. What was it like growing up there?
Man, I grew up with family. Love. I have a pretty large family. I have two sisters. So I'm the middle child. So and I was surrounded by a bunch of other cousins growing up. Nah, but yeah, I grew up, just in a pretty dope environment. Lots of friends, a good place where, kids like myself could connect and grow with others.
I got a chance to see you with your family,
Yeah.
and something that stood out to me is that you pulled out the chair for your mom.
Yeah.
So tell me about that.
That's just natural. Just what the way I was taught, the way I learned to treat a woman, an individual. But of course, my mother, never want her to have to lift a finger more than she actually has to. So that's the pretty basic things that I was taught growing up. Open the door for a lady, close the door, pull out the chair, scoot the chair in, things like that.
I love it. When did you first realize that you wanted to pursue a career in music and performance?
I realized that I actually wanted to really pursue it at the age of 26. 26 years old, I realized that if I, took music a little bit more serious, no matter what direction I was trying to go with it, I feel like it would help me unlock some doors and just, move about life a little bit better.
What was your creative life before 26?
Before 26, it was kind of like coloring outside the lines a lot. I was being creative, but not too intentional about what I was creating. So I've always had the skill of writing music, rapping, freestyle, and it's always been my thing. But I got into like message-based music at in the middle of my 20s, and I started to take a little bit more serious there. I hadn't had my first paid concert until I was 29 years old, which was this dope showcase called So Oakland. So Oakland would throw these really cool events, and really for the people, for the community. They did a contest one year. My name got tossed in, and I got voted to perform. It was my first performance, and that wasn't the paid one, but a paid one shortly came after that.
You mentioned a lot of your upbringing is in Sacramento. What is your relationship with the Bay, as you just talked about Oakland?
Yeah, so my relationship with the Bay is just like the best way for me to explain it is just like any real family. You have your immediate household, then you have your cousins, and you have your second cousins. And I like to look at the Bay Area and even LA as far as to say is, the extended family, a place that made a home. I was able to make a home, connect, secure some dope relationships and contacts, and build in these other places. So I love the Bay. Um, Huge part of like even why the way that I create now definitely came from the Bay Area.
You mentioned you have message-based music. What message are you trying to deliver?
The number one message for me that I try to put out there to people is that we're all worthy. That no matter what you're going through in life, it's gonna be okay. Type of dust yourself off mentality, you know, and self-belief, self-worth is, something I try to sprinkle in the music and uplift.
Why that specifically?
Because that's what I was taught, and that's what I was, that's what you're looking at right now. It's what I received my entire life is love and help and belief, and people that believe in you and back you and cheer for you. That's all I've known, So I feel like it's very easy for me to want to give the same to others. It's what's been poured into me, so I'm trying to pour more of it out.
What challenges have you faced during a period of time where you felt like music was going to be that breakthrough for you?
Prison. I did prison time, and during that time, I feel like I got better at what I was already equipped with. It gave me some time to think. My storyline definitely changed a bit during that time, but again, it was a place where I felt like it was where I had to be, and there was a reason for me being there. And I wrote the song "Worthy" in prison.
What was your experience like in prison, if you don't mind me asking?
My experience in prison was bittersweet, man. Like looking back at it, I can say every piece of it was needed, for where I am today. Going through it, it's prison. It's not really a pretty way to paint that picture, but I can tell you that during that time, I met some really great people. I learned a lot of things, and my understanding of like what life is even about, prison helped shape that.
When did you first become interested in the business side of the music industry?
I became really interested in the business side of music early on. It's always been something that, like, in the back of my mind, I was like, man, I know I could help on the back end. So, whenever I used to go to concerts or to shows, like, I would always notice, I would see the artists, I would see the crowd, and then I would look up and I would see like plainclothes people up there controlling the lights, and plainclothes people moving all around behind the scenes, that weren't dressed up in any type of luster, but they were getting the work done. And like that really intrigued me, because it showed me that for all of this to happen, there was a team and there was an effort, and there was a little bit more effort than what I had grown up thinking it was. I always thought it was just about the artist, but it's not that. It's the artist and the team and the people that are helping build the artist up. So, it got me thinking of ways that I could help. And even to this day, when I go into rooms or I go into showcases, I surveillance the room and I look at the one piece that's not there and what could be helpful in the situation. If I have the connector to do it, I love to supply it. I try my best to step into that position. Be okay with accepting help. Be okay with letting others in the room that might know a little bit more than you put their input in. You never know where that can take you. And that's something that I'm still learning to this day. When you become an adult, you get close to, it's all fun and games when you're a kid, but I'm literally growing, I'm just growing up, man. And that's when you realize, like, yo, ain't nobody finna be out here doing things for you, I would say that you first believe that you can do it. Know that you will do it. Know that there's nothing stopping you from doing it, and you're going to do it. And every single day come back with that same mindset.